Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today at the request of Patreon subscriber Epi, I'm going to be updating Esper Yorion Kitten combo and playing a league with it in Legacy. Start of this video is going to be a little different than normal because Epi has requested specifically to see my process in updating this deck. The deck I'm looking at right now on Moxfield is a deck that I won a local tournament with when Displacer Kitten was first released. The original concept was by Pokemoki at the time, and I may have changed some cards, maybe I didn't. I don't really remember. It was a long time ago. But this is the deck. The idea is Displacer Kitten plus Teferi Time Raveler plus any 0-drop artifact wins the game. The Teferi can -3 to bounce the 0-drop artifact, and you draw a card. Then you replay the 0-cost artifact. Displacer Kitten can exile Teferi, return it to the battlefield, where it's reset with fresh loyalty and it's a new card, so it can activate its abilities again. And you bounce that artifact, and you can draw your whole deck. Mishra's Bauble draws your whole deck. Mox Amber draws your whole deck while floating blue or white mana until you run out of cards. And when you get to the bottom of your deck with all the blue mana floating, and if you have to start with Mishra's Bauble, you'll eventually draw the Amber. So that's the loop there. And eventually you cast Thassa's Oracle. I'm going to look at this differently so it can actually be on the screen all at once. I generally like the visual grid, but visual stacks actually fit on the screen without me having to zoom around on everybody. Epi wants me to update this to the current metagame. Let's start by duplicating the deck. Sick Moxfield function. Epi's updated Esper Yorion Kitten combo. Duplicate. Now I can leave my old one alone and keep rocking out with the rebuild. The core of the combo I like a lot here. I'm not going to touch that. That's the Displacer Kitten, Teferi. I like the spread of baubles that we have, 4 Mishras, 1 Mox Amber. I think that's the correct number. Things that have changed since the last time I played this deck, I mean, quite a bit. Expressive Iteration's not legal anymore. Not that we gave that a lot of respect anyway with the deck. There's not a Hydroblast in the sideboard, just one Mystical Dispute. We were clearly just sort of out muscling that. Big shift in the metagame, Lord of the Rings. Baleful Strix is worse than it once was because Esper or Orcish Bowmaster just picks it off. Orcish Bowmaster, black card by the way. We're probably playing that one when we get around to the rebuild. And the One Ring is a card that not only exists now, which I don't know that we're super worried about. This deck does have 6 forces in the main and a combo kill. I hope we can outmuscle that. And 4 Narsets. Hopefully we could just beat One Ring. But we might want 1 or 2 of our own in here. And presuming that I want to make 6 cuts for 4 Bowmasters, 2 rings, I'm going to start looking at what's on the fringe. Wandering Emperor. I think this is pretty easily kind of just hanging out there on an island by itself. Kind of an alternate win con, kind of just a random planeswalker in the deck. That can go. I am going to go back to the grid. This is how I'm used to looking at decks, so this is how I'm going to think about it. Kick Wandering Emperor into the considering pile. I do like the 1 of Mentor, the 1 of Solitude in the Recruiter or the Guard package. That is a fun thing to have access to if you need to change gears. This 1 Preordain, in addition to the other cantrips, I'm just going to kick that to considering. The Daze is pretty cool because it saves your Displacer Kitten, whether they have mana up or not, because it is a non-creature spell you could cast for free, and you could flicker Kitten in response to removal. Even if they pay the 1, the cat's still safe. That's cool, but it is sort of kind of cute where we're trying to add just genuinely sick cards to the deck. That's 4 slots open. The Animate Dead, the 1 of Animate Dead, this card I remember being very cool when it came up, but also kind of existed on the fringe. It does fun things in fun situations, but I think if we're just adding more powerful cards to the deck, we could shave that. And Baleful Strix, not what it used to be. I still like it because we're an 80 card Yorion deck. We got to get through here somehow. It's a permanent that does something when it comes into play, which is good with Kitten and with Yorion. But I think we could go down to 3, and that gives us slots. So 4 Orcish Bowmaster into the deck, 2 the One Ring. Now these are in here, and it's an 80 card deck again. The core engine's still in one piece. I still like Narset for her ability to I call it skipping in my head, where you minus Narset, find a spell, cast that spell with Displacer Kitten, reflicker Narset, then minus Narset again. And there's so many 1-mana spells in the deck and 0-mana spells that you can go pretty deep on a Narset. Like if you have 3 mana, you could probably activate Narset 4 times that turn pretty reliably. And Jace, or whoever this is, Teferi is the win con, so gotta play 4 of that. And Orcish Bowmasters gives us kind of an Esper Vial vibe here, which is cool. This is like a mid-range thing that the deck can do that it couldn't do before, other than with the One of Mentor, I guess. But yeah, this is kind of cool. And One Ring, burying opponents. It's a very cool thing to flicker because it resets the burden counters. I like it. Those are the spells I'm going to update. Let's take a look at the lands and sideboard for the current metagame. Mystic Sanctuary is the only thing I might have questions about here. We're at 4 of each blue dual. No scrubland because there's a Mystic Sanctuary. This Mystic Sanctuary could just be scrubland and make our colors better, but in an 80 card deck, what spells are we rebuying here? Refiring Savine's Wreck multiple times is relevant. Picking up a Brainstorm, Ponder. What's in the sideboard? We've got Flusterstorm, another Force. With a Supreme Verdict, refiring that one might be pretty cool. Okay, I'm actually going to leave the mana base just how it is. Turning Mystic Sanctuary into Scrubland is an option, but I don't think we need to take it. There are spells worth rebuying, and we're an 80 card deck. Gonna need a little help finding our stuff. I think I actually just talked myself into going the other way on Strix and Bowmaster. And Strix is part of our draw engine and our stay alive engine. It's only bad against specifically enemy Bowmasters, which I think that's just the cost of doing business. And we do have some of our own Bowmasters and Recruiter to find them. But I think Strix is better on the default 4 of if we're only get 7 slots for these 2 cards that I'd like to play 4 of each. Okay, the sideboard. Let's look at the current metagame. MTG Goldfish. Legacy metagame. Grixis Tempo. Death Shadow. We have 2 Bowmaster Tempo decks at the top of the metagame. 15.7% and 11.2%. These are very close to a third of the metagame between them. And lands, we should be pretty solid against lands. We have a bunch of removal, a bunch of basic lands, and a combo kill. I'm not worried about that. Painter. Painter I have main deck Swords to Plowshares for, and then this Energy Flux and Dress Down and Engineer Explosives. That's not a whole lot going on, I'm going to be honest. Reanimator, obviously, there are 7 Forces, 2 Flusters, 2 Surgicals, Unlicensed Hearse. For that, that might be as good as it gets for a Reanimator. The Engineer Explosives is interesting because the format is bigger now than it was last time I played this. Engineered Explosives on Delver, DRC, Elves, Death and Taxes, all these ones. Orcish Bowmaster has sort of raised the average mana value of a threat in the format to be bigger than that. But still, that kills DRC and Delver, Death Shadow, Exploration, Pithing Needle, like things that might have come out of an Urza Saga, Goblin Welder, Grindstone. Yeah, that's still a pretty cool card. The Energy Flux is the one I'm most suspicious of at this time. 8 cast, basically the lowest it's ever been in the metagame. And Painter is kind of a artifact deck, but also kind of just a mid-range Rakdos or mono red deck with Furies and a bunch of red blasts that could just take out a energy flux when they care about it. I think I want another dress down, and that opens up another slot here. I like Plague Engineer and Nightclubber because they both take out enemy Bowmasters, which is even better now than it was back then. Do I want to main deck a Nightclubber then? Yeah, Grixis and Death Shadow being decks number 1 and 2. Maybe I move Savine's Wreck to the sideboard and move Nightclubber main. That gives me a sweeper that I can tutor for in the main deck, and flickering this thing becomes unreasonable. So Clubber and Recruiter. That's a main deck package now. Still have one sideboard slot left. Oh, right, Storm, Mind's Desire. It's not showing on the Goldfish front page, but my last couple leagues, maybe the data just isn't caught up yet to the recent unban. But yeah, we got to respect Mind's Desire in some sort of significant way. I have 2 Flusters already. Mystical Dispute, not really doing it there. Okay, I want something for Storm. And I can't play Deafening Silence in my deck because that's I'm also a combo deck. I can't play Null Red in my deck because I'm also an artifact combo deck. Might just be more Flusterstorms. I'm not going to put like 1 Stifle in the deck. We're not in the colors for Veil of Summer, and alright, I'm going to go a 3rd Flusterstorm for now. And mentioning the colors, like, I didn't have to play Esper, but I still think that Baleful Strix and the upgrade Orcish Bowmasters are worth it, because you have to be blue and white for Kitten Teferi, and then what colors, if any, splash from there are up to you. But I do really like what Esper offers. It's a small splash. It's really only a few cards, but I believe that's worth it too. Compared to red, you get Pyroblast, but there's not really any creatures you care about. Green, you get Uro as sort of a backup plan, but we're base blue-white, and Uro needs a deck to be base green to really cast it. Blue-green. Yeah, I don't believe in Uro here. Also a pretty awkward thing to flicker with Kitten. I think we're in the right spot with Esper. And this sideboard makes sense to me now. The land still makes sense. We have an 80-card main deck with a companion. This thing looks ready to go. I'm going to export it, download for MTGO, and off we go. See you in the games. 3-for-1 Trading is one of Europe's leading Magic the Gathering retailers. Their online shop has a fantastic selection of high-end Magic cards, especially for vintage, legacy, and old-school players. They now exclusively offer the BoshNRoll community free, fully insured, and fast worldwide shipping on all their high-end singles, full sets, and out-of-print sealed product. They upload new cards every Wednesday with weekly sale offers and reductions. Use my code BNR0723 to get free worldwide shipping on your first order over €341, approximately $380. Scan the QR code or go to shop.3for1trading.com. On the draw in round 1 with a perfectly reasonable looking hand of Esper cards. I'm in. Hope I don't get stifled. Drawing another land helps. Even if I do get stifled, at least I'm still playing the game. Cool. Didn't happen. Firing off a Ponder here. Bauble Bowmaster. Sure. Yeah, these are all just some cards that there are. And I'm going to bauble now so I don't get Bowmastered. Thoughtseize, great. Bobbling face up into a Thoughtseize deck. My bad. I would have bobbled in their upkeep if I knew they were about that life. Okay, this looks like some kind of storm deck. Thoughtseize and End-Step Brainstorm, those are 2 different pieces of the same kind of play patterns that fast combo would be doing. Could be Doomsday, I guess. Petal. If they Dark Ritual off this pedal, I think I have to force that. If they Thoughtseize off the pedal, I think I let that happen. Dark Ritual off the pedal, okay. Promised you a Force of Will, and you're gonna get it. I think I pitch Strix here. I have high hopes for this kitten, even though Strix is a redraw. My goodness. Oh no, it is Doomsday. Wow, okay. Alright, it's Doomsday with Days. That was the line versus Storm for sure. And I think it's... knowing that it's Doomsday and they don't have 4 black to Thoughtseize me, I would have waited for the Doomsday. Still would have gotten Dazed, but yikes. And they still have their land drop this turn, which can be that island. And Doomsday can construct a pile that beats Bowmasters. Might not even get a turn if they have a Brainstorm in hand or something to get their chain going and they still have their land drop. We could just be actual dead right now. Pretty stoked in this moment that the 2 cards that I added to my sideboard are more Flusterstorms and more Dress Downs, both of which great in this matchup. Just gonna screenshot their list real quick so we have that for later in case we need to think about it. We got Personal Tutors in here. This is just classic Turbo Doomsday. Yeah, and they have the Brainstorm, so we just lose here. We're not getting another turn unless they mess up. Underground Sea. I have unfortunately clicked through this Thoughtseize, so now they know I'm a kitten deck. I would have just conceded in response to it if I hadn't already F6'd. They probably just take Bowmasters and don't care about anything else, yeah. I'm drawing a land here. If I even get a turn. Okay, looks like they are giving me a turn. I guess I have to play this out and hope that they make a mistake somewhere, or my next draw step's good. If they made a double pass pile, I do not know my top card, but I am in the business of action at this point, so I am just gonna fetch for the thinning, which is a thing people are constantly like, why didn't you fetch for the thinning? Because it usually doesn't matter, but right now it actually kind of does. The One Ring does not save me from Thassa's Oracle. Be surprised if we get another turn. Okay. The Swords to Plowshares did slow them down here. The Underground Sea get in here, and... okay. One piece of action short of picking up Force of Will, like 1 turn shy of that being a thing. I guess I'm going to cast my One Ring and hope that it draws interaction. Force of Will off the top. Alright, we're dead. All they have to do is cast Thassa's Oracle, and holding up the plow didn't matter anymore because they're going just naturally past the turn 3 times, empty. Yeah, they got the Cavern anyway, no surprise there. You did it. Okay. They were slightly ahead of me there. Dress Downs, Flusterstorms, Mystical Dispute, Force of Negation, all coming in. I don't hate Surgical Extraction for this matchup. I suspect we're going to have stuff to board out that we won't miss, really. Solitude, Prismatic Ending. I don't want to go completely empty on removal, because sometimes they juke onto creatures. Don't think this is a Nightclubber matchup. They could have Bowmaster, Sheoldred, Dothy Voidwalker, Opposition Agent. All of them are alive. One Ring seems kind of slow and bad here. If I ever get it going on a stable board, we're on easy street, but unlikely to occur. I think it's safe to bet. Strix is not high impact, but it is blue, and I have 7 forces in my deck, so I guess it wins the tiebreaker there. Okay, this is what I'm doing. Okay, a Strix I can't cast, a Force I can cast, a Bauble I'm going to keep. Tundra, Bauble, and I am going to Bauble. We know they're a Duress deck now, so I'm going to Bauble on their upkeep. I still get to see the card, but they can't take it. Force of Will, great. Good to know. Lotus Petal, here comes the party. Dark Ritual, I'm going to let it resolve this time. Knowing they have Force backup, pretty terrifying. Cabinet's your land. Oh no, they're going to Sheoldred me. This is disgusting. What a juke. Should have forced the red, but they have the Force, so who even knows? Oh cool, nope, can't even double Force because the stupid card's involved. Great. Okay, I'm gonna put back Surgical Extraction and Teferi, and then next turn I'll play Baleful Strix, take my medicine, and hope that we stabilize against the Sheoldred eventually. Immediately punished by Bauble. Would have been better to do it on my turn this time. I'm gonna have to get punished by Strix. And luckily their main plan does not win with damage, so like all this is still fine. As long as I have some life left when the Sheoldred is stabilized against, we're good to go. Teferi can remove her next turn, and now I have Flusterstorm too. My hand's actually really good if we can clear the Sheoldred. Come on, give me a break with this shit. Alright, well, this is going to strip Teferi, and then we're in trouble. If I force, they force back. And if they don't force this, then they force the Teferi. Ugh. Everything is going poorly for me. They still can't attack, and I did leave in Swords to Plowshares. I have other Teferis. I got 6 more draws after this one. I can hold up Fluster or put Yorion in hand. I'm just going to grab the Yorion. That represents double force. And if they don't do anything, it represents 4/5 creature. Okay, they just didn't do anything. Hey! Patience rewarded. Now I can Teferi with Fluster backup and Force backup. Let's go. And they know about the Fluster and the double force. They might as well force this, because if it resolves, you don't get to force anything. Fetch. Hope they don't oppo me in response. Underground Sea. They could Dark Ritual to pay for Flusterstorm. And then I'm in trouble to a Daze. Should I just force first? Or did they pitch to force? Another force. Okay, interesting. If I just force here, I'm actually just going to force here. Dark Ritual, pay for Flusterstorm, and then Daze Teferi actually beats me here, where they'd need a whole second round of forces to beat that line, even though it's a little awkward. Cool. I could rip the Dark Rituals out of their deck in their draw step. That would make it really hard to get Sheoldred back around. Alright, I'm going for it. Makes it hard to cast Doomsday too. This Cavern of Souls just around on Phyrexian. 2 Sheoldreds. They did have the Daze. Didn't need to play around that, it seems. Sideboard plan. We got Leyline of Sanctity. Okay. I don't have any discard in my deck. They don't know that, though. The old black deck. False promise, I guess. Looks like 2 Dazes in the list right now. 1 Flusterstorm. Okay. Big, awkward handful of cards that don't help them right now. And I can Yorion this turn. Get a bunch of value. Even do it with Force backup. Okay, gonna shove Yorion here. Get another Tundra. Yeah, black's my splash color. Shoving a 5-drop into Daze fearlessly, thanks to Teferi. And I can afford to flicker Teferi here. There's nothing they can do at instant speed that's gonna punish me. Sweet. Loaded up on counterspells. You have to get through 21 more life. That Sheoldred drew a lot, or gained a lot on its way through, and opponent's done. Cool. There we go. Does anything change? We see 2 Sheoldreds in their deck. I already have 3 plows, 4 Teferis, and 4 forces in for that. Yeah, I don't think I want to go any deeper than that. Okay, yep. Same deck. Let's do it. And balancing my Bauble around both discard and Sheoldred, and, well, we didn't see Bowmaster. We did see their deck. Okay. Fistful of Counter Magic. I'll keep it. This isn't perfect, because obviously this is a Thoughtseize Duress deck. But if they do just try to shove, we can do stuff. Okay, looks like they're shoving a turn 1 Doomsday, force checking me. I imagine they have backup for this. Force backup. Yep, turn 1 Doomsday with force backup. Pretty good, I dare say. Now Flusterstorm has to... So what I have to do here is draw one of my dress downs, and Flusterstorm has to buy me time to fire that off. Yeah, Doomsday's in all kinds of shells. Some are faster, some are slower. This one is just like, here it is. Good luck, have fun. Here is their deck. I'm not going to try to reverse engineer what cards they left in. Underground Sea pass here. LED, interesting. Cycling Wraith. Oh. If they overcommit here... Oh no, they just jammed the Oracle. Okay, that's smart. Just down and dirty, unprotected. They probably have a second Oracle under this, but there was no spot there for me to Flusterstorm anything, and if they had like tucked a Brainstorm in this pile, try to get the done, I clip that. Maybe their pile fails, but yeah, they were like, you got nothing, here it is. And they were right. On to the next round. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. I'm on the play for round 2. I'm going to keep Island Ponder. Don't know what I'm playing against yet, but I am a combo deck, so I can still cast Ponder pretty happily. I think I'd rather have Solitude in my hand than Teferi. Like, if I get Duressed here... I mean, actual Duress misses, but Thoughtseize doesn't find an interactive spell. And let's just hope that's not what this game's about, because I'm not ready for that sort of game at all. Opponent did go to 6. A Volcanic Island. The Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay. Rusty old Delverino. With Mishra's Bauble. They're doing the thing, living the dream. They targeted me with the Bauble. I did all that work to hide Teferi, and now they see it. Cool. And the one basic swamp in my deck is already in my hand. This is pretty annoying because I would like to play around Wasteland while also clearing the top of my deck and casting Baleful Strix this turn, but I can only get 2 of those 3 things. I am not going to play around Wasteland, is my choice. Underground Sea, Baleful Strix, get in. I think having good draws off the top of the deck are more important than what if they have Wasteland right now. Okay, they did have the Daze. Always annoying when they have Daze. I guess I could have just taken a hit from Dragon's Rage Channeler and played around Daze and shuffled and continued to play on basics. Could have done all of it. Kind of trying to soften them up for this Teferi though, but they know about it. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to use Flooded Strand to fetch basic planes. Do I think they have 2 Dazes? I could just put Yorion in my hand. Alright, yeah, I'm actually going to do that. Talk myself into it. Yorion's a white card for Solitude, a blue card for possible forces. Just the blowout potential of them having the second Daze there. I'll at least make them have Force of Will next turn. Vandal Lightning Bolt. Okay, don't want that one. I am prepared for Murktide Regent. Between the Solitude and the Teferi, I have 2 bullets to answer one of those. And they had the opportunity... Or no, that was just a Volcanic Island from hand, wasn't it? I was about to say they had the opportunity to get Grixis mana and didn't. But that's not actually true. Flooding the board with Dinguses. Disappointing. I was ready for like 1 Dingus, not 2. Okay. Prismatic Vista can fetch Island or Plains. I'm just trying to plan for what if I minus Teferi into a Swords of Plowshares here. What's the best outcome for that? I don't have any 1-mana black cards. I could just play the Tundra. They had Force anyway. Get wrecked me, and Force Pitch Daze, so I was right to play around that at least. Okay, now I guess I will spend 1 turn seeing if these Delvers flip. And then I can make decisions. Flip, Revealing Ponder. Okay, well, gonna have to pitch cast Solitude then. Because I'm not surviving 2 hits from this. I have to kill one of these now, take 6, and then play Yorion and hope I can just block a different one. I think I want to take the Delver. I know they see an extra card off the Dragon's Rage Channeler, but that has to attack into Yorion next turn. And I'm operating on thin margins anyway. Still dead to Bolt here, because the 6 I take now, plus the 3 I take next turn, even if I block, puts me to 3. Only Ponder left in their hand. But they do get to see up to 5 cards off it. Uh-oh, black mana revealed. They are Grixis. Build a Bauble. Goes to shuffle their library. Alright, I'm gonna play a big bird and hope I'm not dead. Dead to bolt, dead to daze. Dead to additional creatures over a long period of time. Even if I don't die right now, I am dead to bolt for as long as this game continues to be played. If there's a Mystic Sanctuary in the deck, that's bolt next turn. I don't know if they all play that these days or not. But I'm going to eat the Delver. It's the same 3 damage, and this one has to attack next turn and die, if there is a next turn. Shit. Okay, I'm dead now. Yeah, this can pick up Lightning Bolt, and if they have Ponder or Brainstorm in hand, that's that. Okay, I have a chance to draw Force of Negation, or Force of Will here. It's a very Time Raveler. Okay, that could be a rebuy. Now I have to hit Force of Negation. Alright, I'm going to play Teferi before making my land drop. I might Teferi into Brainstorm where I want to shuffle. Oh, the Force, but not the blue card. What a horrible outcome for me. Alright, we're dead, but barely. Cool. That was fun. Engineered Explosives coming in, Unlicensed Hearse coming in, Supreme Verdict, Plague Engineer, Flusterstorm, Mystical Dispute, cards coming out, Force of Negation for sure. Probably Force of Will too. It would have been good there, but that doesn't mean it's good. Night Clubber is solid here. Everything that's a removal spell staying in. One Ring does buy me a genuine time walk in this matchup. But it also hurts my own life total if I don't pivot it into a win quickly. I think just being Esper, Recruiter of the Guard, toolbox, magic cards is where I want to be here. Oh, this is a good Savine's Wreck matchup, though. Gotta find one more cut. Might be one of the Narsets. She's just pretty clunky here. Everything else is really heavily impactful. You don't actually need Thassa's Oracle. You can go infinite with Kitten and Teferi, and even if you can't win right away, you could find Monastery Mentor, cast it, make a lethal amount of monks, and pass with a bunch of counterspells in your hand. But on MTGO, I kind of want the actual win button. I'm going to cut a Narset for this. Or I could cut a Kitten. Let Narset's lower on the curve and more important for the matchup, and then once things are stable, I can win with whatever. Yeah, I think cutting Kitten's actually better. I will keep my hand. It's got basic lands, it's got stuff to do, and it's got interaction. It's all I want in the world. Delver. I am going to Mystical Dispute this because I have the shot to do so. And I think I am going to do it off of a basic island. I might regret later not having that for a Murktide, but just taking the pressure off with multiple shots here. And if they force this, right, yeah, Daze, sure. They wouldn't have been able to Daze Prismatic Ending anyway, but if I don't flush the Daze out here, then my Narset gets dazed later. Yeah, we're kind of all over the place on this one. Okay, play around Wasteland or play with access to black mana. I'm going to play around Wasteland because I'm a coward. My whole hand is Azorius right now anyway. Another one. Kind of hope they force to protect this because I have the Fluster now. This Bauble sitting in play. See what they end up doing with that. Alright, they are taking a peek at me. Is it a good one? You'd tell me, right? Underground Sea's back. Ponder. I'm actually going to Fluster this. I'm planning on tapping out for the next several turns, and if I can mess them up, I answered their threat. They spent their days. If I can get this Narset down on a board where they don't have red mana, kind of like where that's going. And I am going to shoot my shot with Narset. Recruiter of the Guard's cool, but Narset just has other passive relevance in the world. Opponent's very good at having 2 dazes in their hand. Sure. Seen 10 cards this game. That's fine. Completely on expectation. Alright, we still got stuff to do. Recruiter gets to grab something, and then Yorion is pending. Pretty good with Recruiter. E-Storm. Alright, do I want to play around another Daze? Because I can Brainstorm and Shuffle here, but that's not actually good because I don't have bad cards to get rid of yet. I would end, like, this Brainstorm would just be a different card. There's nothing extra I can make happen. This Brainstorm's also really good if I tutor Kitten here and draw a land, ever. Or if I just get Mentor now and I'm ready to Brainstorm with it next turn. Okay, do I want to make bets on Mentor or do I want to make bets on Kitten? I think I want Mentor. They're both really bad against Orcish Bowmasters. I actually think I want the Kitten. Let's go. I'm going big. I think Monastery Mentor is safer. This opens up Daze, Wasteland, not drawing a land, Pyroblast. A lot of things here. It's gotta hope that they miss, though. My only weakness, Wasteland. I'm gonna float white, pretend I have a removal spell. I'm not casting Brainstorm right now anyway. There are lands in my deck and Brainstorm in my hand. Oh. Savine's Wreck targeting Narset. I'm into that. I could also Savine's Wreck targeting a land, but I'm less into that. Give me a Narset. All their good answers to Narset are red. Third Daze. Some people cannot be stopped. It's alright. If they didn't waste me, that Daze would have hit my Kitten instead. There's that Underground Sea again. Turn 5, still playing on that same land. Okay. They could have Snuff Out. I could just put Yorion in my hand here. I could also Brainstorm. I think I want Yorion. I'm just padding up for a future that I hope exists in the world. Investing 4 mana into this cat when my next land gets me Brainstorm and at least some guaranteed value. Just unlocked a red mana. Now their Pyroblast work. Hate that. Land for Savine's Wreck is sick, though. Oh, okay, we're in there. I'm going to attack first and see if they want to Bowmaster. Because if they do that, I can get back Recruiter with Savine's Wreck. And this is just a play around Pyroblast for the most part. If they have Daze number 4 at this point, you've earned it. I think I'm actually supposed to target the land first off of Savine's Wreck, because if this resolves the second one, the copy then gets the land back, which gives them a window to Pyroblast Narset without her drawing a card. Oh, that's stupid. Okay. Yeah, I should have targeted my second favorite permanent first. But we've reached the point that fighting over that turn 1 Delver has been so nice. Like, they've had answers for everything I've done this game, but it's turn 7, and the only 2 damage I've taken are from my 2 fetch lands. Jeez. Okay, so we saw them lose life to Force of Will, and then they were like, oh wait, I have Daze number 4. Okay, all 4 Dazes, you earned it. And we know they have Force in hand. It is a Moto trick, though, to click on Force of Will, even if you don't have a blue card, because Moto will display that you lost life. Just a thing that can be done. Alright, now that I can play around Daze, cool. I think Yorion is worse than Kitten plus Spell, so I'm going to lead on Yorion here. It's also a must answer, and I suspect they do have an answer for it. Red mana, I hate it. I hate it. Okay, if they just Bowmaster my Recruiter, yeah, I mean, that's annoying, but it's not Pyroblast. Yorion's in. I didn't Brainstorm in response to Bowmasters. I don't think I need to. Like, I don't think I need to panic here. My deck plays a lot of removal. But now they're hitting land drops. Oh, if they just pivot into Murktide now after all this. Disappointed. Okay. There's a Supreme Verdict in my deck. All my plows are still around. That can be Mystic Sanctuary if I need it to be. It can also be black mana if I need it to be. If I cast Brainstorm, the Displacer Kitten will trigger before the Orc happens. Okay, we could just get super weird here. Okay, I'm playing the Kitten. And I have options on this Brainstorm. Passing the turn. They have to assume I have a spell of some variety here. Okay, they have a Brainstorm. That's fine. It's not Lightning Bolt. I'll take it. I can also Mystic Sanctuary, Prismatic Ending, clear Bowmaster, and then Brainstorm with Impunity. I'll let this Murktide come through. I can take 8 once. Delver. All right. I think I do want this Prismatic Ending to take on the Bowmaster. If they have a second Bowmaster, I'm bummed out. Mystic Sanctuary, target Prismatic Ending. Okay, I have that card now. And then I can attack with Yorion. Because when I Prismatic Ending, I'm going to flicker Yorion. This is free money unless they interact in combat with my cat, and then it gets weird. Right, end the Bowmaster, flicker the Yorion. And I'm not going to exile my cat because that doesn't do anything or matter, except it makes me not have a cat for half a turn, which might not be a good deal for me. And then I'm going to pass. And I can block Murktide with Yorion. Ugh. Okay, maybe not. Oh, time to brainstorm. I'm going to flicker the cat itself, because I'm not going to flicker out Displacer Kitten. I want it around. Come on, Swords to Plowshares. Blusterstorm, Mox Amber, Unlicensed Hearse. These cards are not good. Okay. We're in bad shape, team. Especially if this Delver flips. Oh, it doesn't matter. I have to block Murktide, and Mox Amber doesn't win me the game after that. Okay. Bummer. Yeah, the all 4 dazes and every single one countered a spell, and they were able to pivot in the late game. Got locked under Bowmaster for a turn or two, and that was enough to make it happen. Yeah, Bowmaster is tough on the creature deck based on drawing lots of cards in a turn. Difficult card that exists for the old Displacer Kitten strategy. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw for round 3 against Syracuse, who, every time I've played against this player in recent years, has been combo. It was Oops All Spells for a while. Last time, they were on a really cool High Tide Bubbling Muck Mind's Desire deck. They said in the chat that they literally just queued to give someone a free win. They must be 0-4 right now, and there's no prize for 1-4, so it must be just playing Good Samaritan. They're determining right now if they're going to scoop or give me some content. Okay, I've been told they will concede after we play, so I get a win here regardless. I'm going to keep my hand. It has Force of Will in it against this known combo junkie. Underground Sea confirmed. Well, there goes my Force. See you later. If this is the High Tide Bubbling Muck deck, I do have this in the queue. Should be out in the next week or two. I think I would rather bobble myself here to get more looks at relevant cards than... Yeah, Swords to Plowshare is not what I want for this matchup. I'm going to fetch for Underground Sea just because I'm already holding a Tundra. I don't think I'm going to need to plow this opponent. Yeah, Ponder is a much better card than Swords to Plowshares. Well, there's that card. 80 card deck, shuffled one away, drew it anyway. Good shit. Baleful Strix. Are you a Bowmaster deck? Did you get me with a juke? Am I going to be obliterated here? Tell me more. Cool. Alright, I'm still just shields down to any combo ever. Thought Scour, yikes. Milling Dark Ritual. Okay, is that... I don't think a Reanimator deck would play that card. There's way better options. This is probably some threshold-based Cabal Ritual kind of thing. Is this Peta Storm? Is that what's going on? They have 7 mana if Peer into the Abyss is what's happening. Lotus Petal. Storm is 3. It's under Yorion. There it is. Now they can peer with an initial mana source still available. You can also just Desire for 4 here. Okay. Just a nasty, dirty Desire. Let's see where it goes. Cabal Writ. Tendrils. Not quite there yet. Yorion revealed. Yikes. And Wish Color. Okay. Yeah, that was a good one. 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 cards in hand. Plus you get a tutor. and there's a bunch of mana, yeah, they should be able to find a win here. As long as Wishclaw Talisman can tutor for a spell, they win. Any spell at all. Okay, you got me. Yeah, pretty solid Desire for 4. That could have been like 3 Lotus Petals and a land, but it was 4 action spells instead. I'm not complaining, I'm just enjoying Mind's Desire. Love me a Mind's Desire. Okay, a bunch of counter magic. Thought Scour is interesting, because if they're putting their own good cards in their graveyard, do I want Surgical as an option? Swords to Plowshares is coming out. Prismatic Ending can still hit Wishclaw Talisman, or if they run out a Lion's Eye Diamond ahead of schedule or something. Nightclubber, I don't think Storm decks really empty the Warrens anymore. They don't need to, so I'm off that. I do like the One Ring. That's a turn of not getting Tendrils. Solitude can be cut for a Surgical, I suppose. Are there any other cards that are just completely blank and worse than Surgical? No, I think we're set here. Okay, I will keep this. It has multiple forces and Island Ponder. I'm in. Getting a non-basic. They're not going to attack my mana base. Ponder. Cool. Blue card for force with land under it. Yeah, it sucks to have to shuffle away this Ponder, but I do want the ability to force blue card even through a duress effect, and I want to cast Baleful Strix next turn if that doesn't happen. Okay, I've been duressed. Okay, now I can't cast Baleful Strix because then I want to force blue card. Play my land. They're working on perfect information here. If I stop in their draw step, I've got a number of options here. There's a Ponder on top of my deck, which is a card that I like. I could Surgical in their draw step, paying life, which reduces my life total by 2 and builds 1 Storm. That's 2 more Tendrils copies they don't have to get to this turn. But I do get to see their whole hand and draw the Ponder next turn. I am gonna just take this line. See what the duress is about here. There are 2 in the whole deck. Get a little screenshot of the action in case we need that later. Thassa's Oracle in the list, check that out. When we played against this opponent recently on stream, we had a turn 0 Leyline of Sanctity, and they had to win with Creature Beatdown in their Storm deck, which they actually did do, because I just wasn't doing anything. Okay, 4 Desires, Dark Petition. Okay, so we are Dark Petition, Storm. The hand doesn't do anything. This Thought Scour, pretty awkward. But no protection in the hand. There are 3 Thought Seizes in the deck, no counter spells of any kind. Alright, Force of Will looks like it will be able to hold the fort a little bit. And we saw Echo of Eons, which explains the, or at least partially explains, Thought Scour as a cantrip. I can Ponder here, or I can Strix. I might be able to Ponder and Strix, but then I'm putting down Force of Will. I think I'd rather Strix. I need to start reducing their life total, even if it's not dramatically. And the Ponder is a blue card, even though I'd rather it be a Ponder. I'm just going to jam Mystic Sanctuary. I got 3 drops in my hand. It's better as a ETB tapped island than as a Mystic Sanctuary. I just milled Tendrils and Wishclaw. Kind of wish I held on to that Surgical now. This is exactly the situation that having Surgical in my hand, in my deck, was for. Okay, moves are being made. I don't like it. Wishclaw Talisman. I did not know about this card. And Prismatic Endings in my hand. I'm gonna let it ride. Dark Ritual, yikes. Okay, if I force this, what happens? They have 3, 4, 3. This is card 6 in the graveyard. Lotus Petal can be 7. Cabal Writ. If I force Lion's Eye Diamond, I think I'm okay this turn. I don't know, maybe I'm messing this up, but they blew in the pool. Cabal Writ. Yep. Already committed at this point. Alright, they can they just Tendrils me if I force now? Yuck. Yeah, I probably should have forced this Talisman. Yeah, they can get tendrils, put me to 1. If their 1 card in hand is any spell, they win. Kind of playing with fire, letting that talisman resolve. Okay. They're making their wish. Oh, Dark Petition. Tilt. Yeah, they just win. They get Dark Petition, and as long as there's another tendrils in the deck, they win here. Yeah, I just let that resolve into a deterministic line. Oh, geez, we're also Doomsday. I did not register that when we were looking at their deck list. My brain just went right over it. Yikes. Yeah, I was counting interactive spells and win cons. Didn't even see Doomsday. I know it was like face up. Go ahead, yell at me. If there is a game 3, I'm bringing in Press Down. Okay, here's the deck. There were 4 Doomsdays there the whole time. There is only 1 Tendrils and it's in the graveyard. That's why they couldn't Dark Petition. So they do have to set up a Doomsday line here. And I get to make a wish in the interim. Unless I'm dead now somehow. These hybrid decks are sweet. Mind's Desire, doing cool things to the format. The Doomsday has resolved. The pile's been selected. Thought Scour also makes sense for Doomsday piles. I get it. Opponent's at 9. I can Wishclaw for... And I don't have a Dress Down in the deck. I do have a Wishclaw active. I'm not sure if it does anything. Bauble. What is even in my deck? Good question. Wishclaw Talisman. Orcish Bowmasters is in my deck. Will that win me the game? Probably not. And I have to give the Wishclaw back so they can make another wish if that's the world I choose to live in. I could just wish for Force of Will. Nope, because then I don't have mana to put Yorion in my hand. Yeah, I'm in trouble here. They don't even have 8 cards to draw if I wish for Bowmaster. That's definitely not a plan. I'm going to bobble them and see what they're working with here. There's a Ponder on top. I'm a mana short of wishing for Narset. Really needed to draw land that turn to unlock most of my options. Is there anything very obvious that I'm forgetting here? Dress Downs are in fact in the sideboard. I'm going to attack. And I think I just play Recruiter of the Guard. I can't give them the Claw back. And I don't have a blue card to like wish for Force of Will and then end the Claw. And not set up to go with Displacer Kitten on the following turn. Basically no good plan here. And I guess I'll grab Bowmasters, let you know. If you made a pile that wins right now, then you win. Teferi. Ponder. This Ponder gets them to 3 cards in deck, just like Street Wraith. Oracle does it. Okay, there it is. So Bowmaster punishing Street Wraith would have... They'd be at 3 right now, which is still not close to being dead. Yeah, getting Bowmaster just wasn't a line. I needed to draw the land there and wish for Narset, I think. Thought seizing me. That's interesting. Okay. Taking an extra turn off here. Going to 4. Oh, okay. Said in the chat, this is why I'm 0-4. I can't play this deck well enough. Okay, so Swords to Plowshare is not in my deck. I can put you to 2 and then Bowmaster you to 1. That's not enough. I still didn't find the thing. Okay. Conceded. Wasn't dead, but did concede. Okay. Kind of a mess going on here. Okay, the Dress Downs have to come in for the Doomsday half of the deck. Gonna take one more look, make sure I didn't miss a creature juke of some kind. Nope, Desire Doomsday. Doomsday is the juke on top of the Storm, or vice versa. There's no Shieldred or Bowmaster or anything going on. 2 Dress Downs come in. Now that I know that they are Doomsday, the One Ring seems kind of sus. Yeah, I guess the One Ring comes out here, and then I just Kitten, Anti-Storm, Control combo. Okay, here I go. I honestly can't tell from that last game if opponent was like, I'm conceding this match anyway, let's just go to a better game, or if that was like, genuinely messed up the pile, didn't know what to do, and was dead. Doomsday's hard, and it's even harder when you just make it into a different deck too. I'm gonna keep this in. Flusterstorm, Brainstorm, those are good things. Opponent's on 5. Now we get the tension of, is it a slow 5 and this is your first keepable hand, or is it a nut 5 that kills me on turn 1 with a Thoughtseize? Okay, Thoughtseize is here. Took the Brainstorm. Alright, said I don't care about Flusterstorm. Drawing land, not great for me. Street Wraith cycle. Ponder. Okay. It is tempting for me to fluster that because opponent knows about Flusterstorm. Let me have it after a Thoughtseize, which I think is just correct because Brainstorm can completely mess up their information. Versus, like, if they take the Fluster, then they know they have to beat Fluster. If they take the Brainstorm, they don't know anything. I'm going to bobble myself here. Get some options going. That's a Brainstorm. Snap it. Let's go. Okay, cool. Opponent also kept their Ponder, but did not make a land drop last turn. And must be Gasoline. Alright, Lauren revealed in the main phase. Could have done that upkeep to shuffle the Brainstorm cards, but liked at least one of them. A Thoughtseize, huh? I am going to fluster this Thoughtseize now. I have a Brainstorm. I can make the hand different. Brainstorming in response to the Thoughtseize. I don't think I would have been able to hide every single card, at least I hope not. If I had just drawn 3 lands off Thoughtseize, would have felt smart. But I hope that's not the world I live in. Okay, I can Brainstorm and then Bowmaster. That seems like a pretty good use of a turn. Put back Basic Swamp and Looted Delta. I want to keep 1 fetch around for the next thing. Okay, I can Fluster or Bowmaster, depending on what they do here. I considered main phasing the Bowmaster, but knowing that they're a Dark Ritual, Dark Petition, Storm deck, they can win the game without drawing a single card. Okay, they're just passing. This is a beautiful time to get a Bowmaster in. The first of many. Clock is on. Raise the alarm, busted against Storm. That was sick. Teferi's pretty good too. I'm not good at Teferi though. I'm gonna play Strix and then leave up Bowmaster or Fluster. Get access to a little bit of everything here. They've got a Wishclaw. I actually can't interact with that. That's scary. Fetch another Underground Sea, add another Bowmaster this turn. Bunch of damage. Can never draw a card. Teferi can bounce Wishclaw, and I protect it all with Fluster. And then I have a possible win on the next turn with Kitten, and then Teferi's already in play. Okay, I like my chances here. Time Walk you. Okay. Dead on board, Flusterstorm in hand. Hands in the air, question mark. We got the GGs. I'm not sure what happened in game 2. Like if that was, F it, I messed up my pile, I don't want to play anymore, but might have still been able to win, or if it was a genuine couldn't win, but we definitely got game 3 fair and square, and they got game 1 fair and square, so sweet. On the board, off to the next round. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. On the draw for round number 4, Island Ponder Keep, baby. A Lotus Petal. I'm glad I have a force in this hand. Chrome Mox. Okay. Chrome Mox not frequently in Storm decks. In the Epic Storm, I think they've moved off that. Maybe they play a couple. I don't really know. Oh, Tilt. Well, now we're dead. I have to counter this because if they're gonna like echo this turn, I would like to counter future cards. That might have been bait. I don't know. Maybe I just built Storm for no reason. Okay, they are echoing. And I am glad that I'm able to counter spells, though it looks like this hand won't be able to do that. That was a really good start to a game, though. Let's hope they kind of chill out a little bit and let me put some stuff into play. B-Storm. And that's 2 Echoes gone. 1 flashed back in exile, 1 under the Chrome Mox. Storm is 7, and we're just passing. Love to see it. Okay. I can bobble me, and then bobble you, and then figure out where we're going from there. Undra, definitely don't want that. Fetch that away. And black, cast Bowmasters, which is a card that I have. Yeah, I'm going to bobble you. I'm just going to do it. LED on top. Okay. And I'll deploy this Mox Amber. I get 2 draws. They're both random. It has to be like Force Blue card to be relevant, basically. Oh! Ding, ding, ding. Well, let's see if that gets me where I want to go. The 80 card deck giveth and taketh away. B-Storm. A Narset does not seem like a card that this deck can beat if they're on LED Echo kind of stuff. Or at least not beat easily. Bowmaster is annoying, but it doesn't like stop them from winning. Okay, maybe this is just the Epic Storm. Is this how this deck is built these days? I don't know what's going on anymore. Okay. I can counter a Talisman, or alright, they're just relaying for a bunch. Sure. Stacking it up for later. Relay, Wishclaw, Writ, Veil. Ugh, that Veil sucks. The One Ring. Not helpful at this time. I'm going to Bowmaster right now before Veil of Summer takes effect. But it is a thing they can do next turn. And kind of looks like I'm in some trouble. Yeah, this is just the Epic Storm. They just had a weird start that looked like something different. Dark Ritual resolves. Now we have to play chicken on this Veil of Summer. That also resolves. I kind of hope they just reload a second relay and pass. And I hope they do anything that results in them passing the turn, basically. That's always what I want against Storm. Just one more draw step, one more untap. There's the Veil. I'm going to force it. This builds Storm, but like, I'm dead if I let them Echo again. Yeah, they might just relay for 1 extra card here. They might have an actual win. Oh my goodness. Are they just passing? They could LED relay for 6 right now, and they're choosing the 3 cards in their hand over a relay for 6. That's really interesting. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't know what's in their hand, but it's certainly notable. This Force of Negation probably not going to get me over the hump versus 2 active Wishclaws and 3 cards in their hand that were better than 6 cards in exile. Sheesh. At some point, I should probably just stop building Storm for my opponent, but I also have Bowmaster in play right now, which is a reason for them not to get Hexproof. Cool. 3 Veils down. But double LED, they can Naws here. Echo is still pretty dangerous. They can't, or if they peer into the Abyss and find a Veil off the pier, they can Veil in response to my 20 Orcish Bowmaster triggers, and then be fine if they have. But they are betting on a one of, like, coin flip. There's one Veil left in their deck if they draw half of it. Maybe there's some deterministic line too. I don't even know how this deck's constructed right now. Are there Mind Desires? Are there not? Let's find out together. Making a wish. Okay. Big commitment here. And they can Veil of Summer. Yeah, they could Veil of Summer. They could wish for their last Veil and then Echo. And then, oh, they didn't wish for Veil. They could see if they draw Veil and then wish for it if they didn't. But I just drew Force. So, I mean, party's on here. Oh, they have 2 Veils in the deck now. If they started with 4, because 1 just got shuffled in. 2 are in exile. Only 1 green floating. Yeah, if they have to wish for Veil here, I could force that Veil, and then we're in Ugly Town. Okay. I'm a big fan of Ugly Town. Pitching Teferi. That's the clunkiest card here. I've forced 4 spells this game, and they were all Veil of Summer. Okay. They're at 9. Storm is very high, though. Ad nauseum, kind of dangerous here. Spinning the wheel on another Echo is kind of dangerous. Brainstorming. So they're dead on board. They have to storm me out here, which can totally be done. I mean, Storm's 9. If you have 1 mana and 1 tutor, you win. Okay, there's the mana. Do you have a tutor? Dark Ritual. Okay. Main deck Tendrils ready to rip. Any tutor gets the Tendrils from the sideboard. Gotta kind of hope they mess this up and don't hold priority. Nope, they knew how to do it. Bummer. Okay. That was an exciting game. Just narrowly losing after fending off 4 Veil of Summers as a blue deck. That was cool. And we still lose, but it was a good time. Okay. My counter spells come in. Flusters. Do I want Mystical Disputes? Oh yeah, we saw lots of Echoes. I guess that's worth having. Swords to Plowshares. Blank. Prismatic Ending can hit Wish Call that's left in play. The One Ring is actually a Time Walk versus Tendrils wins. Solitude, Irrel. I could sit Engineered Explosives in play on 0 or 2 and pressure their stuff. Surgical, stripping their Veils, makes a lot of their combos a lot harder to execute. I don't think I want to do that kind of stuff, though. I'm going to go with just my blue cards here, which now I have some 1-for-1 counters. I don't have to 2-for-1 myself every time, but this deck is built to chew up slow blue decks, and guess what I am? I will keep my hand. I'm going to do a self-bobble, then use a fetch to manipulate it. Bobble myself. I'd really like to look at Flusterstorm here. Marsh Flats, that's not the one. Polluted Delta will become Underground Sea, and then I pass and draw a card. Thassa's Oracle, sick. That's what I want to see. It is a blue card. I'm not going to complain about any blue card. Those are the rules. Taiga, Petal, this looks familiar. Opal, Chrome Mox. Black, green, green in the pool. We're getting Progenitor oozed. Okay, just relay. Just a little Necropotence. Brainstorm. Rite of Flame. Dark Ritual. Alright, bunch of gas, no payoff there. I would like to draw a Force effect so I can main phase this Bowmaster and then just turtle back. Is there a meaningful interaction point with Prismatic Ending before I just shove Bowmasters and hope it's good? If I exile Chrome Mox, then Mox Opal is off. The one in exile and the one in play are both off. Unless they come up with another artifact. Lotus Petal is a one and done. That is their only... or they have the Lotus Petal for black. I think I would rather just put Bowmaster into play. And start putting pressure on them. Get a Tundra. Main phase Bowmaster. Doing it now so they can't Brainstorm in response. And if they Veil of Summer this, that's a Veil they don't have active on their own turn. Okay, cool. I can't see a tutor right now. Doesn't mean they don't have it. 3 cards in hand. Writ from exile. Right from exile. Opponent with ad nauseum mana in their pool just said, big fan of the podcasting channel. Cool. Kill me now. I do appreciate it. It's just always funny. Bryant talks about this too, where people are like, hey, I'm a big fan of the channel. And then they like Trinisphere him on turn 1. Yep. Big fan of dying. Okay, had the Veil anyway. We are in the dumpster hole. Just anything they want to do here is going to happen. They do only have exactly 5 mana, though. That's not enough to wish for Naws. Tendrils isn't there yet. LED. Yikes. This is not quite enough Storm to kill me with a Burning Wish as your last card in hand. Oh, Echo, right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so they're under Veil here. And Orcish Bowmasters cannot target them or their creatures. I can target my own army, and each point of damage that would kill the army also grows the army by 1. So this is just kind of investing in next turn if there is a next turn. Like it takes 2, then goes to 3, takes 3, goes to 4, etc., etc. That's how timing works on that ability. I don't play Mindbreak Trap, which is the only card they need to be thinking about at this point. Another Rite of Flame. Storm is super lethal at this point. Still 19 life to Naz with. Nothing to worry about here. The Epic Storm, I think, has been the best Storm deck for quite some time, and the fact that it was already built with Veil of Summer at the core of its engine makes it a really smart choice for the Bowmaster metagame. Corrupt Decay under Chrome Mox. Sick Bayou. 2 cards left. Plenty of mana, plenty of Storm. Whatever these are, if they're anything. And I hope for just like a massive relay and pass, but I don't think I'm going to get it. We're going to Desire for 11. Heck yeah, let's party. I'm not sick of this yet. I'm still not bored of Mind's Desire. Burning Wish. Okay. Lotus Petal. That's 3 mana. Rite of Flames 4. Okay, yeah. They have me here. I'm going to just see the Mind's Desire pile. As much as I would love to let them Desire into Desire and just cast their deck, I also got places to be. I got other videos to record. Dumpstered by Veil of Summer, as one does. On to the final round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the draw in the final round against Killa B, who is a known combo maniac, inventor of the Riddler deck. I'm going to have to mulligan. And going into this league, like you saw my deck build at the beginning, I said there will be a lot of combo. Everyone's in on Mind's Desire right now, and we did in fact play against a lot of combo, and we did in fact lose to almost all of them. I would not choose an 80-card Esper deck as my weapon of choice in a world where combo is as present as it is right now in the Moto queues. I am beholden to the requests of my Patreon subscribers, who I adore, and I'm happy to play these decks at their request. But if this was like a Star City 10K or Eternal Weekend, which is coming up, just announced by the way, I would not have played this deck. Okay, I have a Swords of Plowshares in my hand. I can let this Emery ride for a second. Paradox Engine, you psycho. Okay. I kept the Plow in my hand, didn't bottom that to the mulligan, because Killa B is known for having creature-based engines in combo decks, like the Riddler, this Emery, etc. Got some Strixes to pitch to a Force. Hopefully opponent runs out of gas soon here. I'm really worried about an Ursa Saga. This just looks like 8-cast. Are we even comboing? We see Paradox Engine, so there's definitely some extra layer here, but this just looks like 8-cast to me. Come on, land. Sick. Too easy. Always had it. Underground Sea. Strix gets to move things forward. Find that third land. I do hope my opponent fails to function long enough for me to, do anything the deck was supposed to do. I think we've triggered Displacer Kitten twice this league in a game that we'd lost. Tough sell. Ah, this heckin' jerk again. Do I force this one? No. I still have removal in my deck. I'm gonna... Right, I'll let this ride. I got a Brainstorm to look for it. Mox Amber, not currently helpful. Brainstorm, come on. Let's do something here. Help me out. Swords of Plowshares. There's Teferi. I do still have Force Blue card. I'm going to put back Nightclubber and One Ring. I'm going to end up with all these cards anyway. Blue-black. Teferi, currently my blue card for Force. Emery is good for a Lion's Eye Diamond, a Bauble. Can't cast this Paradox Engine. Yeah, it's Bauble, LED, Aether Spell Bomb. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Eye Master Thopterist. Come on, Killaby. I want more out of you than 8 cast. There better be a exciting top end to this. I could force this and then hide behind the One Ring for a while. I think I'm actually into that. The incidental value of Psi is so annoying. This is where we get LED echoed, and I'm a chump for forcing, but getting this One Ring going, I'm excited about. Mishra's Bauble, cast. You did it. Storm is 3. They see my top card, which is Nightclubber. I'm going to shove the One Ring first. Make sure this thing resolves before I make any other decisions. Unfortunately, the One Ring is neither a creature nor a planeswalker for Mox Amber, or else that would have been a lot of fun. Seeing the Nightclubber and the Mox Amber, I imagine this opponent will know that I'm on Displacer Kitten. I wouldn't give that credit to every opponent, but this one certainly knows the type of BS that can occur in the Legacy combo space. Yeah, this so far just looks like 8 casts with Paradox Engine in it. Boring. Okay, here comes the engine, though. We're about to see some fireworks. There it is. Okay. Is it time to get Kill a Bead? Mox Opal. Alright. Party's on. Oh, this is just, yeah, this is an infinite loop. Good thing I have protection from everything. Let's see what you can do versus a protection from everything setup. Okay, so this is infinite mana with LED, infinite draws with Bauble, and okay, so my plan here is going to be when all these Baubles trigger on my upkeep, I'm going to activate Ring and hope that there's a Bowmaster in it. And even if they do end their chain with putting Aether Spellbomb in play, I have enough mana to Bowmaster twice. Alright, gonna hope to light him up with Bowmaster. That's my plan. Yeah, Spellbomb can draw the deck now. If there's a Thassa's Oracle in here, we actually just lose, even through protection from everything. Oh yeah, and with the Aether Spellbomb, they could pass with all counter spells in hand. Okay, I'm probably just dead here, but I have to make him play it out. Just in case that's not true. I played 8 cast with Mirror and Spy recently, which is basically the same combo, except Paradox Engine makes more sense because Emery can just put it into play. Just said in the chat, the Ring is a real bummer. Yep, that's why we're still playing this game. Permanence your opponent's control. Lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Guess what? I'm not a permanent. I'm a player. I'm a human being. Okay, Paradoxical Outcome. I'm now extra stoked about this deck, even more so than I was moments ago, which was already pretty stoked. I just want to see what's going on. If there's a Thassa's Oracle, we lose right now. If there's not a Thassa's Oracle, to be determined. Every Mox Opal is worth 2 mana because you float it. You tap it to float, then you cast the other one. Oh yeah, Seagate Restoration on the hard cast. 29 cards in hand, no maximum hand size. Heck yeah. I no longer have faith in Orcish Bowmasters to do anything. There's Psi. Now, there are an arbitrary number of creatures involved. I'm going to point out, which I did mention in the deck tech, we can't play Deafening Silence because we're also kind of a Storm deck. We can't play Null Rod because we are kind of an artifact combo deck. I guess if things line up correctly, Teferi could bounce your own hate piece and then you start the chain of zeros and you're fine. But sometimes you will have used Teferi on a previous turn and it won't be ready to go with a -3 that keeps it alive still afterwards. And the powerful weapons that the Esper Wedge has in its toolbox for this sort of BS and the sort of BS we played against every other round. Oh, sick. Urza's is in this deck too. I'm hyped. The thing that Esper has in its toolbox is discard spells, of which we're playing 0, and Hateful Permanence, whether they're white or just Null Rod style stuff. But Deafening Silence, Rest in Peace, Stony Silence, Null Rod, that kind of stuff. That's what you want against these combo decks, and I do not have it. Okay, got a 24/24 Shroud Haste Lifelink Trample. I'm currently under the sweet protection of the ring. And they've seen the Nightclubber, which can clear all of these dinguses. Alright, activate the ring first. And Narset first lets me also cast Nightclubber, because that turns on the Amber. Clubber is 1 black to blitz, so I'm going to leave a white open in case I find Teferi here. Oh, that doesn't do anything. What do I even want here? What do I even want for my life? The age-old question. All right, Force of Negation, Swords to Plowshares. Swords to Plowshares not helpful right now. Missed the boat on that one. I guess I'll take this Force of Negation and bobble you for good measure. EO on top. Blitz Nightclubber. That gives it haste and it dies at the end of the turn. Don't even really want to attack with it, but I do want it to die and draw me a card. And now we're just going to die to this big creature, because they can make that creature arbitrary. I'm going to scoop to save time. Now they actually have me dead. Okay, cool. Yep. The One Ring did finally fog a combo deck for a turn. It gained enough advantage that it didn't matter, but it did happen. You can't take that away from me. Rest Downs coming in. Unlicensed Hearse. That whole thing started with a Graveyard Engine. I like Graveyard Hate. I like Dress Down. Those energy fluxes I cut from the sideboard would have been good here, but 8 cast is all-time low. This is kind of barely 8 cast. Not even really counting it as that. A Bowmaster, solid. Plow, essential. Is Strix the bad card here? I need all my removal. Maybe, I mean, One Ring was fine there. It, like, air quotes, bought me a turn, but not really, because my opponent had 20 cards in their hand. Nothing was going to resolve. Didn't matter. Oh, but they showed me Defense Grid in their deck. That's interesting. Maybe they don't have counterspells if they have Defense Grid. Do those go in the same deck? They can. Yeah, Urza makes so much mana, it doesn't matter. But if I can keep the Emery clear, that thing can't happen. They just had 2 Emerys that game after I answered the first one. What are you going to do? Oh, Mystical Dispute answers Emery early. I should have that in. Force of Negation can hit the Paradox Engine, I guess. Nightclubber was relevant, and I'm bringing in Plague Engineer, so like, clearly I think that's worth doing. Oh, this is tough. I guess I have to shave a cat. And is this a matchup where I shave Oracle and just present enough? Or I could shave Mentor? I think I'd rather shave Recruiter than Mentor. And Recruiter can get Solitude. Oh, this is so hard. Magic sucks. I hate this. Cutting. Alright, I'm going to cut a Force of Negation. A lot of things I care about are creatures, and I'm going to cut a Recruiter. I have no idea if this is right, but it's where I am. Okay. I've made my selections. Okay, Brainstorm, Fetchland, Orcish Bowmasters. This, I mean, I like Bowmaster a lot. I don't like my lack of answer to anything. Still gonna keep though. Can answer an Emery eventually with this Prismatic Ending. Brainstorm can dig for action. Bowmaster is solid against any like medium start. I don't know, maybe this is just an awful mulligan. But I feel like I need all the help I can get from just raw cards in this matchup. I'm also holding Kitten. There's 2 Kittens in my whole deck. Mox Opal. Currently far away from being active. Closer to being active. Active. Oh dear. This is so many heckin' artifacts. I think I might end step Brainstorm here. I'll do it in response to this bobble. What the heck? I would really like to find land number 3, and if they halt Breacher Me right now, I'm just going to concede. Come on. Oh, Flusterstorm. That's fine. Sure. Okay. Flusterstorm has happened. 1 card left over there. Saga is running. That could be an issue at some point. You draw for your bauble. I draw for my turn. It's a land. I like lands. Now, real decision time. Orcish Bowmaster. I think I want to just put that thing into play. I can Prismatic Ending the LED or the Lotus Petal and just make Opal worse. But any artifact, they're just back in business. Yeah, I think I'm in the just main phase Bowmaster world here. Get you for 1. Use Prismatic Ending to fight through what the Saga produces. There's a Chrome Mox. That would have just turned all this back on. Glad I didn't use my ending. Ooh, Surgical I like. I'm going to cast this Recruiter of the Guard. Not sure what it's getting at, but we're going for it. I already have the cat. I could get Plague Engineer. Their things are so big. I'm going to get Solitude, actually. Just put a removal spell in my hand. And I have a free spell. I'm not going to fire off this Surgical this turn unless I'm about to die. Because if I can play Kitten next turn and then pitch cast Solitude, Surgical extract something or other, flicker Solitude, I get to extract their Sagas and clear their whole board. Just gotta draw an untapped mana source. All my mana sources are untapped. I do have 3 islands, so Mystic Sanctuary is live. Making another homie. They are 6/6s, about to be 7/7s. We know Shadow Spear is in the list. A card that I don't like. Either Spellbomb. That's conservative. Alright, I have a very easy 1/1 to feed to this 7/7 right now. Using your Lotus Petal. Bouncing my Bowmaster. Oh no. Are we about to get echoed? That must be what's happening. That's what makes sense here. Okay, there's Echo. Well, I'm losing my hand anyway. I'm gonna pitch Prismatic Ending, Solitude, get rid of one of these constructs, and then I should Surgical too, because I'm losing that anyway. What do I want out of their deck? Probably Urza's Saga is the card I'm most worried about. Lion's Eye Diamond is the thing that I could take that makes it most likely to survive the turn. There's a Grape Shot in the deck. Trusty Screenshot tool, as we do. Use the tools available to you. Okay. And off we go. Force blue card in my hand. Seagate as your land. I like that. I have 2 plows. I can beat up on an Emery pretty easily. 3 Opal. 3 mana plus Lotus Petal. Lightning Greaves. Heck yeah. Let's go. Alright. Greaves makes Swords to Plowshares worse. Teferi can bounce Greaves if I find another white source. Not a white source, notably. I'm going to start with Teferi. I'm going to bounce Greaves. Is that what I want to do? I think I actually want to bobble them before I make any decisions. You can see what they're drawing next. They've got an Emery coming. Okay. I'm probably going to have to force the Emery. Though if I force the Greaves, then I care less about Emery. Wow, forcing Lightning Greaves. What year is it? What is going on? Yeah, I'm going to bounce Lightning Greaves. I hate that. Can I draw a land right now? Tilt. Yeah, if I had ripped the white source there, we get to keep going. I could Surgical their stuff, and then they don't draw Emery here, but I actually am okay with Emery. I drew another Teferi off my bauble. That's cool. I didn't really want to pitch the other one. Shameful, shameful stuff here, but this is the sign of a well-constructed deck that I have to counter this instead of something like Emery or Echo of Eons. There you are. All right, there's Echo. I can get rid of it. I have the Surgical. They don't have priority. They are attacking my life points directly. I'm going to Surgical this Echo right now. I want to see their hand. I want to make good decisions. There's a second Emery in there and Shadow Spear. Okay. Attacking me. But I'd rather have Recruiter in play for the possibility of a future that involves winning the game. Or do I want to chump block 4 damage right now? Unlicensed Hearse can control Emery. I don't care about that. And then I have Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, I think I'd actually just rather have this Recruiter in play in my deck full of flickers. Plus Teferi, drew a cursed black mana instead of the white that I was looking for. Unlicensed Hearse controls Teferi, and I can cast any of these other cards at instant speed, so I'm just going to chill. I think I said Unlicensed Hearse controls Teferi. I meant Emery. And I'm going to plow Construct, not ending it, even though I can instant speed it, because I see this defense grid and I don't care for it. There's Shadow Spear. Okay. Not worried yet. Equipping Shadow Spear. Okay, all of this ignoring defense grid. I like it. Attacking my life points directly with both creatures. Yeah, it makes sense to get in with Emery. It's not doing anything else. Plow the Construct. I think they just revealed that they have Flusterstorm in hand by accident with my Teferi in play. They sacked the Lotus Petal, then unsacked it. And we've seen Flusterstorm out of the deck. The LED and Paradox Engine removed from the business. Okay. Starting to feel like stability. Plus Teferi. I think I have the space to reach for Yorion here. If their hand is Flusterstorm, backup Emery, defense grid, then I'm good to go right now. And this is crew 2. Might as well attack. Or I actually kind of want to keep loyalty on Teferi. Nope. There's no world. I have a handful of removal. They're out of gas over there. No rush. I would like to Yorion for Cat and then go off on the next turn. I'm gonna plow Emery here. Okay. I don't know if it's time consideration or a genuine know that they're beat, but scoop to the plow. Emery picking up Shadow Spear, pressuring my life total or Teferi. Not optional. Not an option there. Now that we've seen such a heavy commitment to the Echo line, I don't think I saw all that game 1. The Flusters and Forces make a lot more sense. Still worried about everything else going on. Maybe Nightclubber isn't good and I should just play Plague Engineer. Maybe I shouldn't be trying to do any of this. And I should just try to catch Psy at the gate rather than letting them go off with it. Actually, I think Nightclubber is actually better than Plague Engineer. As weird as that is. If I'm only going to play one. Oh, this is tough. I could shave some baubles. That makes Cat worse, but like I'm turning these random spells into actual relevant spells for the matchup, which feels good. Bowmaster looks pretty important. I still kind of hooked on the idea of going to Mentor Town. Maybe I don't have Force of Negation and I do have my Flusters, or the other way around. Because Force of Negation can hit Defense Grid and Paradox Engine 2, where Fluster only hits Echo. Basically out of their whole deck. Okay. This is what I got. A Force blue card, Orcish Bowmasters. Count it. Done. It's the wrong Force, unfortunately. If they have an Emery start, I am just going to be under that engine. Saga. Spell Bomb. Okay. Engineered Explosives. Interesting. That's a someday answer to a someday problem. That handles all of the Saga tokens. If they settle into a Saga game. Ancient Tomb. Cool. Underground Sea. World's most obvious Bowmasters, but still going to rock it. And I am just going to fire it now. The Construct arrives as a 2/2. There's no free lunch here. Just going face with this. They don't currently have blue to activate this Spell Bomb. I imagine that the Saga can tutor it if it were so interested. Or are we going to settle into Shadow Spear and get after it? Are we going to LED Echo here? I would honestly love LED Echo because I'm so ready to answer that. I think the game ends on the spot if they LED Echo and not in the direction they want. There's LED. If they Defense Grid Echo, that's a different setup that I actually am a little worried about. Easy block here, that's going to die to my own explosives next turn anyway. And they just ran out all these zeros. Give that to me. Okay, please don't have Force of Will. Engineered Explosives for 0. Oh, I can force of negation of force of will, but that gives them a whole turn to bash me with stuff. Hope this just works. That's what I want. Cool, we're in there. I don't think there's anything to get clever about. I'm just going to light this up right now and knock out all of this mana out from under them on my turn where they can't use it quite as well. Chain of Vapor targeting Orcish Bowmaster. Okay. I'm not going to sacrifice a land to bounce their Aether Spellbomb. No thanks. Ooh, there's more stuff. I just drawn a card, sure. Okay. Splat your squad for now. Unless they get another artifact into play, which, I mean, is easy for the deck, but they'll need another artifact or else this Bowmaster that they know about is just going to pick off this construct on arrival. Okay, there's that one. Go for an Echo. Go for an Echo. Seagate zapped it in. Okay. Big moves. Echo. I'm going to force that. Now I have to beat this Saga again, but the construct is arriving as a 1/1. I'd use the only artifact there. Okay. And I'm going to save my Bowmaster for their activation. What are you going to do? Not do it? Steal your thing for free. They get another one, and they get a tutor. I have Prismatic Ending that can answer anything that could be tutored by Urza Saga. Do I want to tutor? I don't think they're going to get Pithing Needle, and I don't care if they do, so I'm not going to fetch now. I think I'm inclined to Mystic Sanctuary this Force of Negation to the top of my deck, unless they drew exactly Echo right now. Oh, but then they go to 1? Yeah, that's fine. If they drew Echo right now and tutor LED, no, it went the other way. Okay, 3/3 creature. Here's the plan. I'm going to Mystic Sanctuary, put Force of Negation on top of my deck, and then I'm going to exile their Construct token with Prismatic Ending, attack them to 6, hold up a counter spell for non-creature spells. That Engineered Explosives was hot fire. I gave a lot of thought to that one. Opponent joked in the chat, why do you get Force of Negation with 3 lands in hand? Well, I also had a removal spell. Okay. I am untapping into 6 mana, which means I can get Yorion. Oh, alright, well, I might not even do that. Okay, so I can... Nah, Solitude's lethal. I'm just not even going to reach for Yorion. You tap this Ancient Tomb again, you die. If you draw cards, you die. If you do nothing, you die. Promox. Even if they have Urza here, I'm just not even worried about it. Oh, Urza pitched under the thing. Awkward. Oh, right. Because there was only one card in hand. Alright, we got the GGs. A 2-3 record playing against Combo Deck Hell with a deck that is really not built to beat combo. This deck is really beat to kind of turtle up against fair decks and then go over the top with your own combo, which is something that I like the ability of a control deck to do, but what I don't like in a metagame such as the current MTGO metagame is filling your combo deck with slow cards, which is kind of the effect we got out of this control deck with a combo kill in this mono combo league. We did beat 2 of them fair and square and lost the rest of our games fair and square. It's just a tough time to want to do something like this. As far as my changes to the deck abstractly, the One Ring didn't really pan out how I want it. That's kind of even more dirtle in a deck that's already pretty solid at dirtling. I would probably cut the 2 rings and just get Bowmaster number 4, and I don't know that I want the Preordain back, but certainly smoothing this out somehow. I don't know that this is a Lorien revealed deck, and you do get to 5 mana some amount of the time. Maybe you cut the 2 One Rings for Bowmaster number 4 and a Lorien revealed, or a main deck dress down for some interaction. You can main deck a Flusterstorm. I don't think like putting 2 Thoughtseize in my Yorion deck is going to make a huge difference anywhere. Yeah, turn the One Ring into something else, and that's where I would be for this. Though, once again, I don't recommend this in the current metagame, but if I was going to do it, it would look like that. Happy, thank you for having me revisit this channel favorite. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon and all the sponsors that support the channel, and I'll see you next time.